Hello, 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 everyone. It's Dr. Tamara Beckford, and I'm here to welcome you inside the EntreMD Business School podcast. All right. So I have one of our wonderful, wonderful classmates, a wonderful person over here, a star in my eyes. And when she's done, she's going to be a star in your eyes too. So this is the wonderful Dr. Toya. I'm going to have her introduce herself. She's going to let you know her business and where she's located. Go ahead and take it away.
Hello, I am so glad to be here. I am Toya Luces-Sampson or Dr. Toya.
Mhm.
I am originally from Trinidad and Tobago. I am an OBGYN and I'm a physician coach for moms who are in the early years of motherhood, helping them get the rest, support, and care that they deserve. And I am currently in California.
All right. Love it, love it. What's the name of the business?
Dr. Toya Coaching.
Hello, hello. All righty. So now, Dr. Toya, within the last 12 months, there are so many wins that happen within our lives. What would you say that were some of the biggest tangible wins that you've had within your
Yeah.
business?
Yeah, so the last 12 months, the biggest tangible win was the fact that I started my coaching business
Mm-hmm.
and I signed my first client without doing a discovery call. It was all via text, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt very proud of myself. And then what really felt great was that she signed up again once the
Mm-hmm.
package was over. And then when I raised my prices, I got another client at my higher price. So it was all very encouraging that
Mm-hmm.
my services were being valued. And more importantly, that I was making a difference in these moms' lives because I do help physician moms. And, we have a very special set of challenges that I just want to help guide my clients through. And I was just happy that I was able to do that.
Love it. With your coaching, like you said, that you're helping physician moms who, like you said, we have a little bit of a special, unique little niche in not just the bond that we've all gone through med school and so on together, but now having to work under these, conditions of motherhood and guilt and should I, shouldn't I,
Yeah.
and all these ideas that goes through your mind. So the fact that you were talking, or I should say, conversing via text with someone, and then you were able to articulate to them, and they were able to really see the power in what you do and sign up. That is amazing. And it also goes to show that what you do is needed out there because now you've had additional clients, and even when you've changed your prices, which a lot of people, right, initially it's always like, okay, I'll have this price, but then you realize the value and you increase, your clientele recognize that value and they are still willing to pay that for your services. Love it. So what would you say after going through all that and thinking about those last 12 months, what were some of the biggest intangible wins that you've had?
Yeah. So my coaching business is fairly new to be
Mm-hmm.
like officially coaching. It's something that I've been doing for years, very informally. So I know a lot of physicians who are listening may relate to this. It was a
Mm-hmm.
very difficult transition mentally for me to call myself a coach. So the mindset shift of me accepting
Mm-hmm.
that I can call myself a coach and what I am doing is coaching, and that is valuable in and of itself. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean I'm any less of a physician. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that I am a sellout. It doesn't mean any of those things. I am
Mm-hmm.
just helping people in a different way, especially since I am still practicing medicine anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, we can help in different ways and be impactful in different ways. And it
Mm-hmm.
took a little bit for me to truly accept that because I was still holding on to, this very professional idea of what I had for my life as a physician, as an OBGYN.
Mm-hmm.
But I was so glad that I was able to make that transition because, like I said, the transformation, the help that I'm able to give my clients, the support, the community, just the guidance, just to, cut through all the difficulties and really just be happy with themselves, really
Mhm.
enjoy their kids' lives, just the impact I would not have been able to make if I got stuck on that one thing of, oh, I don't want to be seen as a coach. I don't, that's, ugh. So
Mhm.
that acceptance was like the biggest for me in the last 12 months.
I love it. And it's so interesting, as you mentioned, with us having this mental hurdle of calling ourselves coaches when this is something that we do as
Yes,
physicians.
all the time.
All the
Exactly.
time. Yeah, we do this as physicians, but to add it to the repertoire of
Yeah.
all the things that we do, we feel at times this hurdle, this mental hurdle that you have to overcome. But it's so important, and we're happy that you were able to overcome that because of the guidance that you've been able to provide for your clients. Now, when people hear about coaching, at times they think, maybe like they have a format in their mind that it's just like, okay, you're providing A, B, and C. But a lot of what you provide, you're able to really curate such a powerful way for your women who are in that period of like
Yeah.
early motherhood. And early motherhood is really like, okay, I just had my kid yesterday. What am I going to do today? I do not understand what's next. Like, how do I run my household? How do I get help? And you're able to guide your
Yeah.
clients through these steps. You're providing
Yeah.
guidance with, yeah, how to ask for help, the difference between paid help, and it's okay if you do have to let your family know thank you, but no thank you.
Boundaries.
Getting your clients over the mindset of yes, sometimes it's easier on the mental load to pay for the
Yes, to
help
just use somebody. Yes. Paid
than
help
to
is sometimes better than free help. That is one of
yes.
my sayings. Yes.
Exactly. But with us as physicians, at times we probably will look at ourselves and not feel comfortable enough to
Yeah.
make some of those decisions. But having a coach that's guiding you and letting you know, especially during those difficult transitional hormonal times,
Yeah.
that it's okay. It's so important. So I'm glad that you were able to overcome that. So now you're providing such great service for your clients. Now, that's the thing about life. We have some ups and then we
Yeah.
have some downs. The same thing happens within business. But
Mhm.
here in EBS, we really just call them lessons. So if you were to sit and think about the last 12 months, what are some
Mhm.
of the biggest lessons that you've learned within your business?
That I need to lean into my community. And
Mm.
even though I've been in EBS for 3 years, it's
Mhm.
still an ongoing lesson that, I'm in EBS for the community,
Mhm.
and if there are any struggles, anything, somebody there has the answer. Right?
Mm.
So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. And it's a funny thing. I've been in a coaching program for 3 years, and now I'm coaching, and that's what I coach my clients about. Like, I've been through this. Many moms have been through this. You,
Mhm.
let me guide you, let me help you. It's the same thing.
Mhm.
Somebody in the community has the answer. Lean into that community and you can get it. You do not have to reinvent the wheel, and you don't have to do it alone.
Wow. Such a big lesson. And with that, you've able to really recognize that being a part of a community, especially with your business, being a part of a community of other entrepreneurs, you said you do not have to reinvent the entrepreneurial wheel.
Yeah,
And there's so
exactly.
many times that we feel like, but this is my baby. You just don't understand.
You don't get it. I
Uh,
trust me, somebody gets it.
Somebody gets it. Alrighty, well, that kind of leads us into the next question that, I have about how would you say that the business school has been able to help you to achieve some of your goals within this last year, or even your goal with, the 2023 goals that you might have had, your goals that you've had within those last 12 months?
Yeah, so the community is a big part of it, and just giving me permission to just be myself and to create the business that I was meant to create. because it was through the community in EBS that I even got over that hurdle of the coach thing, right? So all of these things that I'm talking about have all been in the context of me being in EBS.
Mm-hmm.
It was my colleagues at the Vision Retreat that when I was telling them about what I wanted to do, it was still a medical program.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, well, this sounds like coaching. I was like, no, it's not. I'm not a coach. I'm a doctor. I don't do such things. But
Mm-hmm.
it was EBS. So, it has been life-changing, and you don't stay in a community for 3 years without it being significant and it being life-changing. This is just one step on the long list of life-changing things that has happened to me since I've been in this community. And
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see what's next.
Oh, wonderful. Well, what are some of the things what you'd say, little steps that you might have considered, but I, who know you and know you, who you've been in the community from day one, have seen on the outside? What are some of the different steps or different versions of Dr. Toya that have been in EBS?
Oh, a lot of mercy. Okay, so when I started, I was still employed and I didn't even know what business I wanted to start. So
Mm-hmm.
for anybody listening, you don't have to know what business before you join EBS, because I surely didn't. I had two different ideas, and at that point, I did not want to be on social media. I told Dr. Una that I was going to have somebody have a stand-in for me for when
So you have a double.
I would have a double. I would have a voice double because my voice is distinctive because I have an accent, and I would have a body double if I had to be in person because I did not want to be on social media at all. As you can tell, that's very different now. Um, then I started a business called By Default. It was a directory for Black-owned businesses and Black professionals who serve the Black community. And I ran that directory for quite a bit. That's when I started really getting into social media. And it led me to quitting my job and doing locums and
But
really
not just
getting,
say doing locums. Let's just be honest. Did you just quit your job and do locums or?
well, I started an independent contracting company and was able to negotiate for very high rates and, hazard pay and all of these things. So my negotiation skills were definitely up leveled by EBS. And so I was able to really, it was realizing and really internalizing my worth as a
Mhm,
physician that that's what happened in
mhm,
EBS, and that's what enabled me to quit without a plan and then just say, well, I am a physician, I am valuable, I can always make money. Locums is what I'm going to do.
mhm.
And, that's what I did. And while that was going on clinically, I was building my brand, really got back into patient education. So started doing a lot more social media, growing my TikTok following to now 18,000, 30,000
Mhm.
over all platforms. And
This
that
is the person that was not on social media, y'all. That was getting the voice double and the body double. But go ahead, tell me how many across all platforms again?
about 30,000 now. Yes. And then my own postpartum experience is what led me finally to where we are right now. And that's one of the things that I think is so valuable about being in EBS.
Mhm,
It has allowed me to pull from all of these experiences, running by default, the difficulty of leaving my job from burnout, taking my own postpartum experience, a decade of OBGYN, taking all of those things, all of my negotiation, and then saying, okay, how can I continue to serve? Because that's all we want to do as physicians, right? That's who we are.
absolutely.
We are service people, and I serve women, and I've chosen to serve them again in this time. And I use all of those roles, all of the lessons to help my clients, whether it's with a recent family member's breast cancer diagnosis, or
Mhm,
negotiating for a different job,
mhm.
or setting boundaries with their family, or hiring help. Like everything that I have done up until this point has gotten me here, and then I can pour it back into my clients. And I couldn't have done any of that without EBS.
Wow, what a journey. And this is only
Been a wild
3
ride.
years. Yes, a
Yes.
wild journey. The person who you were 3 years ago, looking at this person now, what are they saying?
Who is that? Who is this person? And why is she on social media?
Exactly. 30 what? 30,000? Wow. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, some people are listening to this and
Mhm.
they're going to be saying, I don't know. Is it worth it? Should I join the school? What would you say to that person?
Well, you're not listening to me? Kidding. It is something that needs to be experienced. I
Mhm.
always say, when I talk about EBS in public, that we sound like a cult. Um, but it's not, I promise. It is just the best place to be if you are a physician entrepreneur. And, that's all there is to it.
Mhm.
And there's nothing that I can say to truly convince you, but let the record show. I've been in EBS for 3 years and I'm about to sign up again. So take from that what you will. What else can I say?
What else? And like you said, this is just the version of you now. We don't even
Exactly.
know where we're going. So much has
Exactly.
changed within these last 3 years. You've
Mhm.
up leveled yourself. You said you're negotiating. You've increased your negotiation skills. You've increased your skill sets in dealing with difficult, challenging times, and then you're able to use all of those roles, as you said, to help your women who are there within the early motherhood portion of life. Early motherhood, as in, like, I just had a baby. Now we know each baby is different. So you're still
Yes,
motherhood and it's still early
exactly.
after
And you
every
are
single
you are
pregnancy.
always postpartum. You never stop being postpartum.
You
So
never
my
stop.
clients can
Hmm.
have 3-month-olds and 6-year-olds.
Hmm.
You never stop. And when they are so dependent on you, it can be so tough, and people just feel like, oh, I'm just surviving. And
Hmm.
I want you to thrive, and we can do it together. So
I love it. Well, there we go. So, for those who are thinking about it, you're on the fence, you're wondering, should I join EntreMD? Is it really that like that? Hey, Dr. Toya has given her 3 years experience, and then she said, "Well, you're not listening." Were
it's
you
like
not
that.
listening? Yes. So join us here on the inside. Thank you so much, Dr. Toya, for stopping by and giving us your story and really, really helping those who are out there, are women who are sitting there in the postpartum period, no matter how far you are. Once you have someone dependent on you, then you're still in that
Exactly.
postpartum period. So, for those of you guys who are listening, thank you so much for taking the time to listen out to this wonderful conversation. And we hope that we will see you inside the EntreMD Business School. I'm Dr. Tamara Beckford. We'll see you then. Bye bye.